The Canadian Football League has been known for its high-flying offense throughout its long history.
And we thought it'd be fun to present to you a top 10 receivers in CFL history.
Look, this wasn't easy to narrow down to just 10. Greats like Tony Gabriel, Ben Cahoon, and Hal Patterson, who, by the way, once had 338 yards receiving in a single game, didn't quite make the list.
Terry Greer was the first professional football player to record over 2,000 yards in a single season, and he didn't quite crack our top 10. He was even the first player to win a Grey Cup and a Super Bowl.
Even Rocky DiPietro's 9,762 career yards and Don Narcise's 12,366 yards didn't quite make the top 10.
But with all that being said, let's start the countdown. Coming in at number 10 is Nick Lewis. Born on June 3rd, 1982 in Mineral Wells, Texas, Nick attended Southern Arkansas University, earning NCAA Div II All-American status in 2003. Lewis signed with the Calgary Stampeders in 2004 and immediately made an impact, winning the CFL Rookie of the Year award. While with the Stamps, Nick had 9 straight 1,000-yard seasons and was voted by his fellow players as the toughest to bring down, and was a 3-time CFL All-Star and won 2 Grey Cups. In 2015, Nick signed with the Montreal Alouettes and played for 3 more seasons, finishing his career with 13,778 yards, 68 touchdowns, and as the CFL's all-time pass receptions leader with 1,051.
Coming in at number 9 is Darren Flutie, born November 18th, 1966 in Manchester, Maryland, and is the younger brother of the CFL Hall of Famer Doug Flutie. He attended Boston College, and after a short NFL stint, he decided to join Doug with the BC Lions in 1991. During his career, he also suited up for Edmonton and Hamilton on his way to becoming a 3-time CFL All-Star, 2-time Grey Cup champion, and currently 4th all-time in receiving yards with 14,359. He was selected for the CFL Hall of Fame in 2007.
And at number 8, we have Terry Vaughn. Born December 25th, 1971 in Sumter, South Carolina, and attended the University of Arizona. After graduating, he played 12 seasons in the CFL with Calgary, Edmonton, Montreal, and Hamilton. He was a 3-time CFL All-Star, a 2-time Grey Cup champion, and was the first player to ever have 1,000 receptions, and is the CFL record for the most 1,000-yard seasons with 11. He was inducted into the CFL Hall of Fame in 2011.
Coming in at number 7 is Daryl Mookie Mitchell. Born September 16th, 1971 in Miami, Florida, Mookie attended Joliet Junior College before transferring to Texas Tech. After finishing his NCAA career, Daryl spent a season in the World Football League before signing with the Toronto Argonauts in 1997. That year, he won the CFL Rookie of the Year award and won his first Grey Cup. Then in 1998, he had the third 2,000-yard receiving season in CFL history. In 2004, he signed with Edmonton and won his second Grey Cup in 2005. Then in 2007, he returned to the Argos to finish his career. He was a CFL All-Star 3 times and finished with 12,014 yards receiving and holds the CFL record for most receptions in a season with 160. He was selected for the CFL Hall of Fame in 2016.
At number 6, we have Mervin Fernandez. Mervin was born on December 29th, 1959 in Merced, California. Swervin Mervin attended San Jose State University and was drafted by the Los Angeles Raiders in the NFL in the 10th round of the 1983 draft. However, he elected to sign with the BC Lions in 1982 and played there until the end of the 1986 season. He did return to play one more season in BC in 1994 after a 6-year stint in the NFL with the Raiders with over 3,700 yards and 19 touchdowns. He finished his career as a 2-time CFL All-Star, won the 1985 Most Outstanding Player Award, and was a 2-time Grey Cup champion. In the CFL, he had 399 receptions for 6,690 yards and 57 touchdowns. He was selected for the CFL Hall of Fame in 2019.
Coming in at number 5 is Ray Elgard. Born August 29th, 1959 in Edmonton, Alberta, Ray attended the University of Utah and was drafted in the second round of the 1983 CFL Draft by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. As a big, bruising possession receiver, Elgard had a 13-year CFL career, all in green and white, and was a 4-time CFL All-Star, 3-time Most Outstanding Canadian Award winner, and won the 1989 Grey Cup. When he retired, he was the CFL's all-time leader in receiving yards at 13,198 and receptions at 830. He was enshrined in the CFL Hall of Fame in 2002.
And at number 4, we have Brian Kelly. Born on March 27th, 1956 in Arcadia, California, Brian attended Washington State University. After graduating, he looked north to the CFL, signing with Edmonton in 1979. Over 10 seasons with the Green and Gold, Kelly was a 6-time CFL All-Star. He won Rookie of the Year award and won the Grey Cup 5 times. After retiring, Brian was immediately honored with the team's Wall of Honor and had team records in virtually all receiving categories. He finished his career with 11,169 yards and 97 touchdowns. He was inducted into the CFL Hall of Fame in 1991.
And before we get to the top 3, we have to highlight 3 players that didn't quite make the list but made an impact on CFL history with some of the most amazing catches we've ever seen. Like Tony Champion, who gave the Hamilton Tiger Cats a late lead in the 1989 Grey Cup by contorting his body to make an amazing catch despite playing with broken ribs. Or downtown Eddie Brown, who made this amazing grab in the snow at the final Grey Cup ever played at Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton in 1996. Or S.J. Green, a 2024 inductee into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, who made this wild catch in the 2010 season opener between the Saskatchewan Roughriders and Montreal Alouettes. Unfortunately for these 3 players and catches, their team ended up on the losing side of all 3 of those games.
Coming in number 3, we have G. Roy Simon. Born September 11th, 1975 in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, he attended the University of Maryland, where he finished second all-time with 185 receptions and 2,059 yards. After spending part of the 1997 season on the practice roster of the NFL's Pittsburgh Steelers, G. Roy signed with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. 2 seasons later, Simon signed as a free agent with the BC Lions, where he saw the most success of his career. While with the Lions, he was a 6-time CFL All-Star, a 2-time Grey Cup champion, and he won the CFL's Most Outstanding Player Award in 2006. And on June 29th, 2012, he surpassed Milt Stegall to become the CFL's all-time receptions leader. In 2013, G-Roy was traded to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, where he finished out his career with another Grey Cup championship. G-Roy holds the CFL record for most receiving yards with 16,352. He was selected for the CFL Hall of Fame in 2017. G-Roy is currently the assistant general manager of the Edmonton Elks.
Number 2, Alan Pitts. Born June 28, 1964 in Tucson, Arizona, Allen attended California State University, Fullerton from 81 to 85. After completing his college career eligibility, while by the way was teammates with CFL great Damon Allen, he declared for the NFL draft. After failing to secure a roster spot in the NFL, Pitts stepped away from football for 3 years before attending a free agent camp for the Stampeders. In his first season with Calgary, Allen led the team in receiving yards with 1,172, good for 5th in the league. His 1994 season remains the best in CFL history with 2,036 receiving yards. During his career in Calgary, Pitts was a 6-time CFL All-Star, a 2-time Grey Cup champion, and finished with 14,891 yards, 117 touchdowns. He had his number 18 retired by the Stampeders, was called the most dominant receiver he'd ever played with by Doug Flutie, and finally was elected into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame in 2006.
And number 1, Milt Stegall. Born January 25th, 1970 in Cincinnati, Ohio. After earning all-state accolades in high school, Milt attended Miami University, where he finished with over 1,500 yards receiving, 8 touchdowns, and 1,377 kick return yards, which at the time was a school record. After graduating, Milt signed as an undrafted free agent with his hometown Cincinnati Bengals. After exhausting his NFL opportunities, Stegall signed with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and the rest is history. Milt was a four-time CFL All-Star. He won the Most Outstanding Player award in 2002, and when he retired, he was the all-time CFL leader in receiving yards with 15,153, touchdowns with 147, and receiving touchdowns with 144. Milt was enshrined in the CFL Hall of Fame in 2012. After retiring, Milt became an analyst for TSN, which he continues to do this day.
Well, that's the list. I mean, Milt Stegall once had a 4-catch, 234-yard, 4-touchdown game. Like, just ridiculous numbers, ridiculous highlights. That's our list. The top 10 receivers in CFL history. What does your list look like? Who belongs in the top 10? Thanks for watching. Make sure you leave a comment and be sure to subscribe to the 2 and Out CFL podcast on YouTube for more CFL content.